Hey there, Hallmark Hot Takers, and welcome to another episode of Hallmark Hot Takes, where we review all the movies from Hallmark's on Christmas.
All the movies.
All of them. No, just the ones on Hallmark Channel, not Hallmark Movies and Mysteries.
That's next year.
We have lives. So this is
questionable.
That's up for some debate. This is episode what?
24.
24 for season 2. And so we're going to rate this movie according to what?
Candy canes.
Candy canes.
Sometimes a half a candy cane, which is not the hook. And other times up to 5 of these each for a total of 10 or down to 1 candy cane. On how much we like
or disliked this movie. So tonight we are reviewing A Very Merry Bridesmaid starring Casey Dietrich and Emily Osment. So rapid recap time. Meet Leah, who is a store owner that sells international goods. And she lives in Chicago, close to her parents. Her father is a recovering heart attack patient. And Leah's always wanted to travel around, but she felt that staying home to take care of her father was a good move, so she stayed put in the Chicago suburbs. And coming home for Christmas is her brother and his fiance, who are getting married. And with him comes a former across the street neighbor, Drew, who was her brother Paul's bestie and kind of an extension of their family growing up. And Drew and Leah are both in the wedding. And Paul, this brother, has planned, he bought Julia's childhood home as a surprise and is going to switch and have the wedding there. So Leah and Drew help him fix it up and get the gazebo ready, so they're spending a lot of time together. And they do a lot of talking and some, just general, talking about their past. And we find out that Drew, who is an international teacher, he did all this crazy teaching everywhere in the world. He's going to go to, where at the end? Colombia? Costa Rica to go teach after the wedding. But he always has been thinking that maybe he wants to start something stateside where, he could do something in a school that teaches kids about international stuff. And so he's considering doing that. And Paul shows Julia, the fiance, the house, and she's very excited. And they have the wedding there. And there is a moment before the wedding that Leah and Drew kiss under the mistletoe, and then Drew calls it a mistake because he's kind of been warned off by Paul, because Paul's like, hey, you're leaving, don't hurt my sister. So then Drew kind of backs off, and then Leah gets the wrong idea. But they end up ironing out all their problems at the wedding, and Paul says, hey, Drew, there's no one I like more for my sister than you, after I just told you a day ago that you're not good for her. But besides that, Paul and Julia get married. Leah and Drew kiss under the gazebo. She's going to go off and go on a vacation. Oh, and I forgot the whole birthday thing. That's kind of a big deal, because her birthday is on the day of the wedding, and she thought everybody forgot, but then they gave her a nice birthday celebration.
Sums that up.
And so they kiss in the gazebo, and that is A Very Merry Bridesmaid. That was a bad recap. I apologize.
No, that was great. It was everything. You had everything.
I guess.
Except for a review, which is next.
Stay tuned. Okay.
Likes, dislikes. Who's going first?
I'll
go first. I'll start with the likes. I like the fact, and I knew you would love this fact, is that when they're putting the tree up, she talks about it's amateurs who put the ornaments on before the lights.
Yes,
so
I would go a step further and think those people are lunatics. Yeah. But amateurs is a good step. So yes, I agree. That is a like for this movie.
I also like the fact.
Who does that? Are there people actually out there who do that? I need to know, because they do it all the time on Hallmark, and I hate it.
I like the fact that Drew was clutch with these birthday surprises for her. I thought that was very nice.
Yeah, so Drew, she didn't want, people kept bringing up her birthday, and she didn't want to bring it up to her family because they had enough going on with the wedding. So Drew was like, well, we can't forget about your wedding. It's your 30th birthday. And his grandma, who raised him, always told Leah that, oh, your 30th birthday is a milestone birthday, and it tells you a lot about, where you are in life. So he tried to make it special for her.
Yeah. I like that. And I like the fact that there was an ugly Christmas sweater bachelor party.
There was.
In this. Pretty wild one with mineral water and...
Paul was... And light
else.
Popcorn. No, low sodium popcorn.
Low sodium popcorn. What did you like about this?
she's a good daughter. I mean, staying to help her dad and putting her dreams on hold, I thought was really, really good. I mean, she was a bit of a buzzkill with her dad sometimes when he was trying to eat some desserts, but she was a good daughter. The mom who was helping to plan the wedding, there was a shot of her computer, and she had this really nifty checklist, and I liked it because, I thought you'd appreciate the checklist.
I like checklists.
I like the mistletoe kiss. So the scene, the night or two before the wedding, they're standing under the mistletoe and they kiss, and it was a nice kiss. I thought it was great. I like that. So the birthday thing, the birthday celebration at the end. So at the end of the night, Paul and Julia at the wedding devote part of the speeching to Leah's birthday, and they give her a nice gift. They give her all of their combined travel miles from all of their travel that they've ever done, so that she can go on a trip. And it was just a really nice moment. They didn't forget her birthday.
No,
because they're not bad people.
No.
And yeah, that. Oh no! And at the end,
yes,
so
I was leaving this for you. I was about to say,
Julia, the fiance, when they were traveling back, her luggage got lost. Her carry-on and her wedding dress were lost completely. Couldn't find it, so she had to buy a new wedding dress. And it was the whole big thing during this. They went to 1,000 shops to try and find a new dress, and she finally found one. But she was really upset about it because it was her mom's favorite designer, and she wasn't going to get to wear it. So she picks out a new wedding dress, and all is well. But then the end scene of the movie is the package being delivered to her house after the wedding and after everybody else has already left. And I thought that was pretty funny.
I thought that was the best part of the movie. That was pretty funny.
It was funny. What did you not like?
What did you not like? Why don't you start?
So she was kind of a buzzkill with her dad a little bit, but I get it. It was just dude, back off a little bit. I felt a little so she makes a big deal to everybody about not talking about her birthday because she doesn't want, and it didn't make any sense. Don't remind them it's my birthday. It's going to stress them out. No, it's not. They'll buy you, why would it stress them out? Because people were making a big deal because she was turning 30. And I just thought it was weird that she was making such a big deal about not making a big deal out of it. I didn't like it.
I kind of feel ripped off in life because no one made a huge deal for me about 30. It was a regular birthday. I mean, it was like a decade birthday, but not a huge deal. Get over yourself.
I feel
it's just
threw a
30
party for you on your 30th.
It was just 30 though. It wasn't gigantic doorbusters.
Right.
It's 30.
Paul buys this house for Julia as a surprise. It's her childhood home. She's always wanted to get married there. They tried to buy it before, but they got outbid. The buyer fell through. He buys it in secret. And they said, they're going to let him in before the closing so that they can have the wedding there. And I feel like that's an insurance nightmare. I feel like nobody is going to allow that to happen.
I don't know why they were all freaked out that he bought this house without her knowing. They both put a bid in for it, and they missed it. It's not
she was disappointed that she didn't get it.
Right. So and then they made a huge deal about you got to tell her. I'm like, why? Yeah. She's gonna want it.
Right.
She was there when you wanted to put the first bid in.
She wanted it before. Why wouldn't she want it now?
It's not like you bought it without her knowing at all.
Right. I mean, Julia, the whole movie, except for the part, she's kind of a mess, and she needed to unclench for most of the movie. And I get that she was stressed out, wedding dress, dead mom, and all that, but she was kind of a hot mess. I absolutely hated almost all of Leah's sweaters that she wore in this movie.
What was with this sweater?
She was tucking them all in. She wore her sweaters tucked in. Is this
just
a new fashion that I'm
missing?
Front.
The front.
I am 41 years old, so maybe I am not in on all the hip fashion for the 30-year-olds. But she was just the front. Yes, just the front of the sweater was tucked in. 80s style. Is that coming back? Because I'm hoping it's not.
There's 4 different outfits that were just that. She wore nothing else.
Yeah.
I was surprised the bridesmaid dress wasn't a sweater tucked into some pants. I have this. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I didn't like that. And there's a scene where she's trying to wrap something, and they're at this gift thing, and nobody's that bad at wrapping. Nobody. So there's so much wrapped up in this movie about childhood dreams, without any acknowledgement that, okay, just because I wanted something when I was 10 doesn't mean I still want it today. If she wants to stay home and take care of her dad,
right.
I think that's great. And I think it's great that she got to go travel, but it was kind of she felt stuck in life. She owns a very successful store. She has a really nice house, so the store must be doing well. And I get that she wanted to travel, but it was all kind of I don't know. It seemed a little
it was dumb.
Weird. There was no usher at the wedding to walk the mom, Paul's mom, down the aisle. She walked down by herself.
It was embarrassing.
What the hell?
It was embarrassing. And then she gets these miles at the wedding, right? She gets these miles as a gift as a wedding. And then Drew the dope is like, speech.
Yes.
And I'm like, people are wedding, like, no one cares.
Right.
Like, maybe it's like,
Half
oh, it's
these people
nice.
don't know you.
So maybe it's nice it's your birthday, and it's maybe nice that the people you came to see, you gave them your miles. But nobody wants to hear you talk about your birthday. Like, nobody wants your speech.
Yeah.
You weren't a bride. You weren't the maid of honor. You weren't the best man.
You don't
sit
get
down.
a speech.
You don't get a speech. People wouldn't come for that.
And then the wedding was outside in December
In
a
Chicago.
tent, in Chicago with snow all around. And
Well,
yes.
snow all around, but everything else was great.
Okay, well that's not the movie's fault. I mean, they shoot these in
Yes,
the
it
summer,
is.
So
That
I'm
is-
not gonna. No,
that's
that's
attention
not.
to
That happens
detail.
to every single movie.
Not as much as I've seen in this one.
Okay, well,
it
anyhow.
stuck out.
But so they have heaters, you can see them, but the tent flaps are not down. It's open air, and there's people. Nobody's wearing a jacket. I don't. How good are those heaters that they can
No.
heat outdoors with nothing to hold the heat in at all? It was. I didn't like that, but that's what they did. So those are my dislikes.
And they're watching this football game, okay? So they're watching this football game at the ugly, which was cool, the ugly Christmas sweater bachelor party. And at first, like, it's super generic, which is, again, don't have licensing, which makes sense. And they have this silver helmet on the table. I'm like, okay, maybe it's some sort of college thing. Maybe it's not NFL. Maybe it's not the Bears or whatever.
No,
And
they
then-
said it was the
I know,
Bears.
that's what I'm getting to. And then he goes up and he talks to his wife. He's like, how was the Bears game? And I'm like, oh, look at that. It's the Bears, okay. And it's like Tom Brady or something or whatever. So, like, they mention people. But why wouldn't he just have a dark helmet? Like, why'd you have a silver helmet? It's attention to detail. Like, it's nowhere near, like,
They didn't want
the
to get in trouble
Bears.
with the NFL.
Then why have the helmet? Like, it's football. You already showed generic football.
They're
Looks like.
football. It's an ugly
Yeah.
sweater football party.
All right, what about a candy cane? What do you got for this sucker?
I didn't hate it. I mean, I have a lot of dislikes, but I didn't hate it. I wasn't. It was kind of boring. It was a little because nothing really happened in the movie.
Yeah.
I really liked the buying the house thing. I thought Paul and Julia, like, they're kind of little, like they were in love, and you could tell. And
I'd
liked
watch
that.
a movie with them.
And I like Drew, and I sort of like Leah. I don't know if I cared if they got together at the end.
Candy
so
cane.
I'm giving it 2.
Two candy
Two
canes.
candy canes.
2 candy canes.
2 candy canes for the checklist. And just
2 candy canes plus 2 candy canes.
Wow. 4.
Equals 4 candy canes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was an eh.
Yeah.
Meh. I won't watch it again.
Slept with her with the Hanukkah one yesterday, right?
Yes.
That was a 1 and a 3.
1 and a 3. Yeah. We're
Seems
simpatico again today.
Yeah, we're
we
back.
were a little off kilter
Back
yesterday.
in line. Let's do a preview.
All right. Okay, so next up on the Hallmark Hot Takes board is, what is it?
Sister Swap.
Sister Swap, a hometown holiday starring Kimberly Williams Paisley, Ashley Williams, Mark Declan, and Keith Robinson. So I'm kind of excited about this one.
The
because
Williams sisters.
I'm a big fan of
but
Kimberly.
not the tennis Williams
Not the
sisters.
tennis Williams sisters. The Hallmark Williams sisters. I'm not going to say what it's about because the write-up for this one is an entire paragraph long. But sisters getting back together who live in different towns have to go back and sell their family theater.
Ooh.
And I don't know. I don't know what happens,
I
but
bet Christmas stuff.
Christmas and romance and who knows
Feelings.
what to expect. Feelings
Lots of
and
feelings.
sister stuff and
I love it.
a lot of more sister
I'm
stuff.
in. I'm in. And tennis, probably.
There's not going to be
Oh.
not those.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you next time.